The Tennessee Valley Weather Channel. This is a severe weather alert.
Go.
Hey, good afternoon, folks. It is 1:47 p.m. here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Thanks for joining me here. And sure enough, as I was talking about earlier today at noon and on the post following that up, we have new tornado watches across the area. Initially, it started out in Hardin County and Tishomingo County, but they've extended that all the way over to 65 and northeast of us. In fact, so for all of our southern middle Tennessee counties and for many of our northwestern Alabama counties too, we're talking Lauderdale County, Colbert County, down to Franklin County, currently excluding Limestone, Morgan, and Lawrence in Alabama, but it wouldn't shock me through this evening and into tonight to see that expanded out there as well. So again, this goes until 9 p.m. and I actually have the Weather Service chat, which is our connection to them right now, and they said there will very likely be a reissue of this watch past 9 o'clock. So just because the time there says 9 does not mean it's actually going to be 9 o'clock when the threat's over. So let's take a look at some radar conditions right now, because it's really no surprise that we have that watch right now looking off to our west especially. We've got tornado warnings popping, severe thunderstorm warnings all up and down this line. And this one's kind of interesting because it's a prefrontal cell. Let's zoom in on that a little bit because it's just our closest cell to us right now. And I could definitely see where that rotation is. You kind of see that hook there. So we're keeping an eye on that first and foremost, those prefrontal cells. You can definitely see that rotation there north of Highway 70, moving up northwest of Jackson. And, you know, if we see more development south of here, that would lift up into the Tennessee Valley. All right, thanks for zooming out here. Yeah, exactly what I was talking about. Just down here, over the next few hours, let's keep an eye on that, right? We'll have to see if that development actually turns into anything, because if it does, well, that's that prefrontal type stuff. And those prefrontal cells can take advantage of atmospheric conditions, maybe spin up some rotation, maybe spin up some tornadoes. Yeah, there you go.
Also watching this one, that kind of caught my eye a little bit.
Yeah, because if you think about the trajectory, that down the line, exactly, that's kind of lifting up north and east here. And that's not to mention this giant Boeing segment we have here, which is kind of one of the primary threats. We do have that level 3 out of 5 risk across all of the area. In fact, portions of the area in level 4 out of 5 risk for damaging winds, perhaps up to 70 miles an hour. So definitely a robust system in this sense. It's going to keep us up for quite a while. So here he is drawing the kind of Boeing segment there. That's what we're watching. And yeah, you can.
Have you looked at any of these warnings, you know, like 50, 55?
I think what we've got on average is about 55. Taking a look over here. Yeah, about 55 or so. So we can call it about 55 there. And I guess what you're going to do is kind of
extend it.
Yeah, prog that out maybe a few hours here. But that'll be the initial push here. So
I need to actually move that a little bit further this way.
Yeah. So here we go. Now we're starting to get out here towards our core area, and especially as it moves east, that'll be one of the main concerns. Again, damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour are one of the big concerns, because it doesn't matter if 70 miles an hour is spinning or in a straight line, it's still 70 miles an hour. That's going to bring some trees down if they're especially saturated. That's going to bring some power poles down. So we'll have to watch this. So here we go. We're starting to get some times of arrival here into our area, and that's if this continues to push east at roughly the same rate. So we got Jackson there. They're kind of getting that stuff over the next hour or so. But we start to get out towards McNairy County, Bolivar at 301. Notice out towards Henderson, Lexington, 312 to 321. Then we're talking some areas that have already been hit pretty hard over the last few days. Camden and Selmer, 328 to 340. So about a couple hours from now, Linden to Savannah, that's getting into our core area about 4 o'clock, and then after 4, so Dixon, Centerville, Hohenwald, and Waynesboro, that's from the 4 to 4:30 time frame. And I'm actually kind of giving it a little space there just because, you know, give it 1 or 2 miles an hour wiggle room. That actually makes a bit of difference here when you prog it out a few hours. So I'd say about 4 or 5 o'clock hour, we might see this initial push, and the recent models have been showing a early to mid-evening push, and then more stuff in the overnight and into the early morning hours. So we're keeping a very close eye on that. And again, if we see this stuff get a little more rambunctious, we might pop a few warnings with that. Of course, we don't make those decisions. The Weather Service does, but it's no surprise looking at the conditions right now that they've gone ahead and issued that tornado watch. Let's hop back to that tornado watch here. And of course, now that we have much of our area in that tornado watch until 9 o'clock, we'll be coming at you live every 30 minutes with the updates. 1:51 now, so what we'll actually do is we'll come back at 2:30 just because we don't want to come back 9 minutes from now. But here we go, till 9 o'clock, and likely to be extended beyond that. Southern Middle Tennessee, all of our counties, and northwestern Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, and Franklin, as well as Tishomingo out there in northeast Mississippi. Thanks for tuning in here again. 2:30 is our next scheduled update. We'll speak to you then. Stay tuned with us, and we'll keep you updated.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.